Greetings, I'm Priestess Sekhmet, I'm your goddess, I'm yourself. And today I'd like to do another video about Satan's satellites. If you haven't heard of Satan's satellites, please visit my YouTube channel. I've already done several videos about what I'm sensing is the war in heaven spoken of in the scriptures, specifically in the book of Revelation, where it talks about Satan getting booted out of heaven. I feel very strongly that I was shown these scriptures 30 years ago for a reason. I was also shown a series of events that would happen that particularly point to these years we're living in now, these pandemic years, because I had visions and dreams of everything that is transpiring specifically. And I categorize these dreams up to about 75 of them on my blog, which a lot of people have seen. Some of those dreams are called things like, well, I can't say them on YouTube without getting deplatformed. I'll just leave a link to my dream blog in the description. Let me talk about Satan's satellites. So in those videos, I talked about Satan getting kicked out of heaven, how Spirit was showing me the actual event on video through a channel called Mr. MBB333, who's also monitoring these events. And I also talked about how the manifestation of these prophecies was playing out as these actual satellites in the heavens, okay? And signs in the heavens being these actual satellites being removed and being cast down. And we're catching those events happening in real time on live video. People see things falling from the sky. They don't know what it is. They're just making up stuff. They're saying that it's space debris, and it is space debris. It's these satellites that are getting blown up. There are also warships up there that are getting blown up. They're skirmishes. It's not a major, all out, ballistic situation, but it is these very serious skirmishes that are occurring. And the latest event is an explosion on the moon, which is also being widely reported. So one channeler came out recently and said that the explosion on the moon was a event that was happening by a group of extraterrestrials, and that these extraterrestrials are part of the negative alien agenda, and that they were continuing to do and set up programs there on the moon. Well, I got an impulse in my spirit as soon as I heard that, because I also did a video recently about Antarctica and about the moon base that I saw there. So you can also check out that video. And I think it's called Moon Base on Antarctica. I'll also leave a link in the description for you. I asked my ancestors this morning if that channeling was accurate, and I got a very strong no. And so now I'm doing a reading on the energy of the channeling itself to see how accurate it is, and I'm going to share that reading with you now. Okay, so straight out the gate, first card out is the Ten of Cups, and it's the happy family. It's the peace on earth card. This is the card that I keep getting consistently, that we've already won the war. We've already secured the moon. We've already secured the planet. We've already secured the galaxy. Like, the war is really over. And again, we're dealing with people on the planet here that don't get it, that won't accept it, that are still stuck in their consciousness and still not understanding the bigger picture of the powers that are now in control, the shifting that has occurred, the new earth reality that now is. And so these parts of our consciousness are still creating scenarios and basically just playing tricks on us, okay? So if you buy into this theory, with the moon card being the second card coming out, if you buy into this theory, your consciousness is just being manipulated to create a fake reality where you still are fighting out these battles where you have not won the war, and then you create these virtual reality rooms in your head where you play out these battles, and instead of creating the new earth reality. So there are some things that the channeling came out with that were very true, and that is about the new earth reality that we are living in, and how that reality is highly creative. So it's really important now that we use our creative powers, and we don't buy into any fake realities and continue to create those matrices with our creative minds. The third card out here is the King of Wands. So again, we've got creative power, but this is the active creative power here. So there are people here, and these people are very powerful. Not the channeler himself, but actually the people that he's channeling. I've told you guys also in a previous video that we have targeted individuals, and we also have agents that work in underground facilities that do work with these channelers and actually direct information to them. So instead of you getting information from your higher self, you can tune into a frequency that is actually channeling out like 24/7 some fake reality matrix line of consciousness for channelers to tune into and to buy into. And this usually happens when you're dealing with another entity. That's why I don't do that. I'm not gonna say that's the only reason I don't do it. I channel my higher self, and I work with my ancestors and my angels and that kind of thing. But when you start working with other entities and extraterrestrials and beings like that, you just have to be very careful. Now, maybe I'm just not at that level yet, but I am at the level of my higher self that can tune me into false channelings and tune me into the true reality, and that's enough for me. I don't need to channel other people's consciousness or go beyond myself here. And that's what I really believe is the divine plan for all of us. If we all would stop going outside of ourselves and tune into our higher self, our own self, we get all the answers, and we wouldn't be deceived by anybody, and you would know if what I'm telling you is the truth or not. That your own internal guidance system, your own internal GPS will let you know that, hey, that's not true. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here, that we've already won the war, that our ancestors and our angels are here securing everything, especially the moon. The moon is secure, but there's this outside influence here with the King of Swords and the King of Wands that wants to use our intelligence, that wants to use our thoughts, and wants to use our creative power, our active will, to engage in this battle and keep it going with the Queen of Cups here in the challenge area. So the Queen of Cups is your conscious, your subconscious mind. The Queen of Cups is your creative power, your divine feminine energy, the womb, the universe. They're trying to use your universal forces of creativity to keep a war going on the moon, just because, for fun. Because these negative ETs and their human counterparts on the earth, just, they lost the battle. Some of them are still here that need to be removed. And when it comes to their human counterparts, it's our responsibility to remove those ones. Our angels and our ancestors are here to remove and clear the dark angels and dark ancestors on the higher planes that we haven't ascended to yet. But while they're holding back those forces, that clears us up so we can be mentally clear and emotionally clear to deal with our physical counterparts down here. And that's what we have to be awake for and be conscious for and knowledgeable, and use our creative power for peace and for unity and for love with this Lover's card here in the final outcome. See, if we would vibrate love, peace, and unity, we wouldn't even be open to all this battling, all this fighting. The warring is over now, and the enemy has been defeated, and the enemy is our shadow. It's the dark side of our consciousness. I know that there's a lot of people that are holding on to their shadow and holding on to the darkness of their consciousness. But it's time to let that part go and to allow it to be healed and to be cleared, because it's not going to be part of our reality anymore. We're moving away from duality and we're moving into unity, consciousness, and to peace. And so I just feel like the scripture says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord. And that's so powerful because it's peacetime now. And they will continue to put things in our hearts and in our minds to stir up fear and to keep the battle raging and going, keeping us in hate and in duality. But you will find that if you release the fear, clear your own shadow, find peace within, and find the answers within, life is going to get much more brighter and much more happier for all of us down here. So that is my reading on the explosion on the moon. It is not the Orions setting up another base and monitoring us and this kind of thing. They're not doing that. They don't have that kind of power anymore. This is new earth. This is new era. This is new age. This is the golden age. This is Zep Tepi going back to the first time, starting back over in light and in love. So I thank you so much for listening. I'm wishing you so much peace and love, and I'll see you in the next video.